Before we get started on this tour, I wanted to first give you a few images that I hope will inspire you and to also get you to think about each of the custom design projects that you will be doing in your home or in a particular space. That information, along with your measurements, will factor into your overall budget and ultimately your fabric selections. This video will cover small projects like pillows, as well as large projects where I'd like for you to consider how to spend wisely on those high visibility areas in your home, high traffic areas, or sun facing areas, or places where you will have friends and family gathering, whether it's going to be formal, informal. And in order to help you do that, one of the places that I love to take clients, whether it's virtual or video or in person, like we're doing now, it's a place called G Street Fabrics and Home Decorating Center. They are located on the north side of Bethesda, Maryland, of course, if you're in the DMV, pretty close to Rockville. And one of the first things that I do when you first come into this warehouse, because it's a huge building, is I take you over to the remnants table. There are drapery remnants and upholstery remnants. And here, what I like to do is start in this location because I want for you to start looking at pieces of fabric remnants that you can bring into your decoration project via pillows or maybe a custom shade or a cornice. And there's so many different geometrics and styles of fabric to choose from. And from there, with a swatch of paint or a carpet swatch, you'll get an idea of how you want to mix and match the look that you're trying to accomplish in your particular space. And we start at this table. It helps me to get a better idea of your style and the things that you like and the things that you don't like. And you won't be surprised either to know that you will probably find a couple of remnants of fabric that you could definitely make into pillows. And if you find enough of that particular remnant, you can also put together a couple of draperies and you can definitely do some cornices. So I always like to start at this table. And again, feel free to bring in your samples to include any type of carpet samples or paint samples that you want to be able to compare and contrast and or perhaps even find similar color hues to match your decor project. And then after we leave this table, I like to take you around the outer edges of this facility because here you will start to see all of the different trims, cording, fringe, tassels, and all of the different types of materials that you can bring into your design project. Now, that's if you decide to go the custom route or if you decide to do some of these projects on your own. And what I love about this store and most of the stores that we visit, a lot of these places have contacts and or they offer those types of services where they can actually do the projects for you. And it starts to get a little bit expensive when you start going up and down the aisles where you see the fabrics that you pull from the dowels that you see here. This is the inner aisle of the store. And of course, these are the fabrics that can cost anywhere from 35 to 100 and up. So we start at the remnant table to get some inspiration. We look at the outer edges of the building, and then we start going down the aisles, and that's where you see beautiful damasks and other types of expensive fabrics that can become a little pricey. And it's always good to mix and match and look at your options when it comes to making your fabric selections for whatever project that you're doing. Especially if you're doing like a high visibility project. When I say that, I'm talking about a room in your house where you may be entertaining, that kind of thing, and you really want to do it up nice. And with that being said, one of the last stops on this tour in this particular store is what I consider to be like a room where you can do more custom projects by looking through books if you're not able to find what you're looking for in the aisles. And here you'll be able to find an enormous selection and different colorways that will definitely get you started in the right direction. The choices here are virtually endless. And you might even find a good deal on a bolt of fabric that maybe someone thought they wanted, it was the wrong color, and it's heavily discounted. From there, we're on our way to the Fabric Place basement. Now, this store is located in Alexandria, Virginia. The Fabric Place basement is located at 6660 Richmond Highway, and that's before you get to Fort Belvoir. And for those of you who live in the DMV, you know that that is basically off of Route 1, heading towards Fort Belvoir, and the opposite direction, of course, is heading towards Roslyn, and then a little bit further beyond Roslyn, of course, is Washington, D.C. When I'm in this store, I do pretty much the same thing. I walk around and I start to think about what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Are we working on drapes? Are we working on pillows? A combination of those. And again, when you get to the inner aisles of the store, where I'm pointing here to the bolts of fabric, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. So again, I always encourage you to look at the bolts that are on the opposite side of this aisle, where you will have an opportunity to mix and match some of the more expensive fabrics with some more affordable options. However, with that being said, if you have the appetite for the finer things in life, then by all means, I would go ahead and take the time to pull together the correct palette based on your paint chips, your fabrics, your wood tones, and I would also think about the 7 elements of design that we frequently talk about, and it's available as a download if you need to refine your budget and move things around, because you also have to take into account the hardware, anchors, which includes, finials and things of that nature that will really start to bring the whole entire look and feel together, especially if we're talking about draperies. There is absolutely something here for everyone's taste. Whether you have a modern or more traditional palette for your design, you should be able to find it in one of the 3 stores that we're reviewing today in today's field trip. This store also has a pretty decent selection of tassels and tiebacks and fringe and cording, as well as other types of trim that you would use on pillows and draperies. And then last but not least, Joann Fabrics, which is a national brand. Once you download the app, you will be brought up to speed each and every time there's any type of sale. And I love going to this store because they always have good sales on the outdoor fabrics, the outdoor indoor fabrics that I use a lot in my tutorials, because I'm a big proponent of using materials that are easy to repel stains. And all 3 of these stores have a curbside or a pickup option. I hope that you get a chance to visit these stores while you're in the DMV. And if it's something that you're interested in, no matter where you're located, you can always look them up online and order whatever it is that you like. I hope you enjoyed this tour. I'll see you in the next video.